This video is intended for guidance only and to be used in conjunction with the official installation guide provided with the boiler and tap. Today we're going to take you through the installation steps for the Pronto ProPure 4-in-1 tap and PROBOIL.2 boiler. We need to fit the mixer tap and filter before connecting the boiler. Position the tap, pipes and other supply components to check if any alterations to the existing supply pipework are required. It's important that all new pipework is fully flushed through to remove debris. Skipping this step can cause problems with the tap or even damage the boiler. Shut off the domestic hot and cold water supplies, including turning off the heating system. Hold the tap upside down with the 98-degree filtered handle to the left like this. Fit all the flexible hoses and fixing stud to the base of the mixer tap. Double check the order working clockwise. Take care not to get the filtered in and out mixed up, otherwise there'll be no filtered water. Pass all the hoses through the worktop, fit the black gasket and metal horseshoe over the fixing stud and tighten with a 30mm box spanner. Screw the grey push fit B3 and C3 fittings into the brass adapters using PTFE tape. Then fit one each to hoses C1 and B1, that's the filtered in and out. Next we'll use a stub of 15mm pipe to connect the hot water to hose E1. Fit the supplied T-valve to the cold water pipework, then again use a stub of 50mm pipe and connect it to hose F1. Screw on the supplied item C9 to the T-valve output. Mount the filter vertically so it can be easily changed periodically. Do not mount above a power socket or near a heat source. Attach the bracket, write on the installation date and clip in place. Note the direction flow marked on the filter. Cleanly cut an appropriate length of 1/4" blue pipe and connect the T-valve output to the top of the filter, that's the inlet. Leave some extra length to allow for filter changes. Measure and cut another length of 1/4" blue pipe, connect to the filter output, that's the bottom of the filter, and push the other end into flexible hose C1. Fit the remaining length of blue pipe to the longest flexible hose B1 ready for flushing. We need to flush the pipework before connecting to the boiler. Ensure the T-valve is in the closed position. Make sure to turn both tap handles off. Turn on the domestic hot and cold water supplies. Open the T-valve, then turn on the 98-degree tap handle whilst holding the open end of the blue pipe over a bucket. Flush at least 2 litres or until the water runs clear. Check the flow rate is approximately 2 litres of water per minute. You can adjust this by closing the T-valve slightly and time the flow into a jug. Turn the tap off. You're now ready to install the boiler. Use this video in conjunction with the installation guide. Read the guide completely before attempting installation of the PROBOIL.2X boiler. Before we fit the PROBOIL.2X boiler, appropriate Pronto 4-in-1 mixer tap should have already been fitted. All pipework should be flushed and a 13-amp power supply should be within 1.4 meters of the boiler. Position the boiler roughly where it's to be installed and check the flexible hoses reach. Then mark the fixing holes at 90mm centres, drill and fix the screws to the cabinet wall, leave them 5mm proud. Unscrew the transportation caps from the top of the boiler and tip any remaining water down the sink. Insert the 1/2" rubber mesh seal correctly to the boiler's blue inlet and hand tighten the wing nut connector. Then firmly push on fully the 1/4" straight connector. Check that the red boiler outlet connector includes the pre-installed rubber seal hand tighten to the red central outlet. Plug in the power cable, but don't plug it into the power socket just yet. Hook the boiler up onto the wall fixing screws. Measure a length of 1/4 inch blue pipe to connect flexible hose B1 to the blue boiler inlet. Leave an extra 200mm spare pipe to allow for servicing. Cut the pipe cleanly and squarely, then push firmly into the grey 1/4 inch straight connector already fitted to the boiler inlet. Insert the fibre washer, then screw in the red connector to the 110° flexible hose D1. This flexible hose is marked with a red tag. Do not over tighten this connection. It's very important to use the silicone hose to attach the red boiler output to the 110° flexible hose D1. Rough out and mark the minimum length needed, then add 50mm. Then cleanly and squarely cut the silicone pipe. Push the silicone pipe first onto the red connector and then push onto the boiler's red outlet. Make sure there are no twists or kinks in the flexible hose, and it shouldn't be too long or short either. At this stage, you should plug in and switch on at the mains. Make sure that both hot and cold supplies are turned on. Push down and turn on the 98° tap handle. The boiler will start filling and air will be purged from the system. It's normal for the tap to splutter a little. Let it run until a continuous flow of water emerges from the central channel of the spout. It might take a few minutes for the water to come out. Flush the boiler by running water like this for at least 5 minutes. After flushing the boiler for 5 minutes, turn off the tap. Press and hold the power button on the front panel. You should see the standard screen with no error codes. Press the plus symbol to set the temperature to 98°. It takes approximately 9 minutes to heat up fully, so while you're waiting, complete the installation checklist in your guide. When the boiler displays a ready symbol, turn on the 98° water handle. Take care as the water is now very hot, and run the water for another 5 minutes. Now turn off the 98° water handle. Make sure the boiler comes back up to the ready state. If so, the commissioning process is complete. Give both user guides to the customer.